Good morning. Hi, it's Janine here at Grow Strong with Wellness, and I'm going to pull over a chair because I have got a pretty substantial job to do. We are Grow Strong with Wellness, and here in Panama, that is interpreted as Crece Fuerte con Bienestar, and our tower gardening is just a big part of our mission to grow strong with wellness, and we're so thrilled that we brought tower gardening to Panama. This tower is crazy with lettuce that needs to be harvested, and we have already harvested quite a few salads off of this. We've given some herbs and lettuces away, and it's getting nutsy crazy. Part of our mission today is that we have 2 limon trees. Limon is the Panamanian version of a lemon. There's one here, and there's one on the back. And we'd like to keep them on the tower for a little while until they're stronger, then we're going to transplant them and acclimate them to outdoors. But since the lettuce is so big, they're getting shadowed, and so they're starting to grow, reaching for the light. We don't want them, we want them to grow strong and tall. They say fuerte, right? So all of this is romaine lettuce. All of this is almost shameful. This is one head of butterhead lettuce that we just let go. And a lot of people will say, oh, you've ruined it, it's bitter. It's really not, it's really still quite sweet and buttery. Mantequilla, as they call it here in Panama. And so I'm gonna harvest romaine, I'm gonna harvest butterhead. We've got a lot of parsley, although I'll probably save that for another time. We've also got a lot of basil here. I will harvest a bit of that, but we just made a big harvest for pesto. We made basil pesto pizzas. Oh, great. Great, great, great. And another romaine here. We do have a bit of spinach, but not much. I'm probably not going to take any of that today. Maybe just a couple of the biggest leaves, but I also cut spinach and arugula for the basil pesto pizza. It was really good. It was on a corn tortilla with basil pesto, Parmesan cheese, arugula, and spinach chopped up. And it was awesome. So, I'm gonna get going. Now, normally I'm very gingerly, and I cut around the outside, the largest leaves. This is an out of control plant of butterhead, so I'm just gonna take it down. Boom, okay? I'm gonna take it down. So that butterhead is going to go in this larger bowl back here. I will very simply take the leaves off this stem, because the stem is going to be bitter. So I'm not being too formal about it, because it's pretty hard to ruin tower garden salad. There's the butterhead that I just took down. Now, I do still want to harvest the outermost leaves of this, because a couple of them are also blocking some of the light for this. Actually, I don't really think the butterhead leaves are blocking the light, so I think I'll probably, oh my God. I'm going to take this one just to show you. Does something like this not have the makings of a beautiful Thai lettuce wrap sandwich? I mean, they're just so gorgeous. So gorgeous. Anyways, now this romaine. I'm pointing with my butterhead stem. This will become compost. That goes in my discard pile. We do compost here. I made a compost bin out of a trash can I drilled holes in, and we mix together browns, sticks, dead leaves, grass clippings, and all of our food waste, except for meat and not citrus. That makes the compost too acidic. So anything that we don't use will go into compost. Right now, my goal is I want to get rid of these things down here that are in the way of this limon tree. So any of these larger leaves, now you see, I have a pair of pruners, but sometimes it's just easier to get in there and use your first finger and your thumb to just nip it off. And I find it's less likely that I clip the wrong thing because I can feel what I'm doing. And I don't accidentally clip something else. There are other things that are much more difficult to prune that way. And now this is a dead leaf, so it's going to go in my compost pile. These really big ones that are going into the land light, I'm definitely going to take. If it's something where I'm going to shear an entire plant, for example, when I'm ready, I'm going to shear, that means cut down to almost the roots, not quite, leave a little green for photosynthesis, but I will cut this parsley down and allow it to start again. Then I will absolutely use my pruning shears or my kitchen shears. I also tend to use my shears for arugula because it's very easy to damage the stems if you bump them. So you want to get in there very gingerly with something delicate like this. So back to my romaine, I want to get rid of these bigger leaves that are in the way of receiving light down below. And as long as I can see that I'm getting good light on this limonero, which is a limon tree. Limon is kind of like a cross between a lemon and lime. Technically it's just lemon, but here in Panama, lemon limes are sort of a hybrid. You can get true yellow lemons, and occasionally you can get true green limes, but what you're more likely to find are these limones. And these are two seeds we started from a limon seedling. I did that. I did them in between wet paper towels, and Paul and I are just thrilled with them. We're keeping them. And we plan to grow them in our yard. We may give one away as a gift, so stand by because that would go to the first person interested. So all of this is romaine lettuce and butterhead lettuce that I've just clipped off of this baby. Now, I don't know if you can see, but this limon tree is getting a lot more light now. I do have a little bit of butterhead over here. This is a more recent butterhead, and it's a more loosely forming butterhead. The leaves just kind of hang down. We don't like this one as much, but we planted it because it's supposed to come in with the leaves red. And it's not as red as we would have hoped. We don't like it as much as this butterhead, which was known as Tom Thumb butterhead. So over time you learn what varieties you like the best. I wouldn't normally cut this because it's a smaller, newer plant, but this leaf is going into another plant. That will cause damage, so we get rid of that. And these leaves are blocking the limon tree, so I'm going to move them. This is a pretty mature leaf. I'm going to take the two of these, and I'm going to take these larger leaves off the bottom that are blocking my basil. Now this is also a really mature leaf. So I know that if they don't get a whole lot bigger than this, once they start curling around the back, that's it. So while it may look like I'm leaving almost nothing here, what's going on is that in the middle, miss that basil, we have a whole bunch of new growth coming in. So this now has more energy going to these new leaves. I'm going to do a little bit of basil trim. I go back to where I see a double branch of new leaves forming, and I nip it. This is where I do use my pruners. Nip it in between the two branches of new leaves. And that way I don't have just a bare stem. Very quickly these new leaves will take over. Do the same thing here. We'll do the same thing here. We love basil in our salad. And so I'm going to move forward. I'm going to harvest the rest of the things that are just ginormous. I will try to tower around a bit here to show you what we've got going on in back. And hold on that board. Here is our other limon tree. And again, it's doing great. We're starting to reach for the light. So we are going to trim back all this lemon basil, which is blocking from this light. And we'll put this right in our salad. We really enjoy herbs in our salad. We've got a really weak crop of chives this time around. They didn't come in very strong. We think old seeds were the problem. These are compost. They're going to go in my discard pile back there. And these, lemon basil will go in there. I'm not going to, well, I might shear these chives and see if I can get some more strong growth. So I am actually going to set those aside. I think they're going to get lost in that lettuce, and I would like a chance to mince them. So now, as you can see, I've got another ginormous butterhead. I I need to get that back down under control. If you hear that noise at the door, that's our puppies trying to get in because they think they're missing something, and they are, because they really love celery. I will share with them. So right now I'm pulling out some dead growth that I will compost. And this was really let go too long. We've eaten so much salad that we were kind of saladed out. We should have given it away, but honestly, it's so luscious that we're a little selfish with it. That's terrible, isn't it? We will share some of this with our Panamanian neighbors who, the day we met them, we told them, we will be able to grow salad here. You can't grow it here outdoors, it's too hot. And they were thrilled at the idea that we would be able to share some salad greens with them, which is not something they could afford to go buy hydroponics at the store. And they're hard to find anyways. So that's the process. I'm going to finish thinning this down, get rid of the things that are in the way of this limon tree, thin down this butterhead, and we will have enough salad for a couple of days. So I'm just going to turn back around and say, thanks for being on the show. We absolutely love growing salad here at Grow Strong. There's all of our lettuce and herbs. There's more lettuce. This will be full by the time I'm done. I am most likely going to leave these little radicchio plants alone because they are nicely developing into heads. I might take a couple of the larger outermost leaves like these. I will take a couple of the larger outermost leaves that are not really formed into a head, but the ones that are curving inward like these, we're going to leave. Radicchio is one of the ones that we really do let grow into a head lettuce because it's just gorgeous. So that's what's up for today. I'm cleaning up the tower in terms of trimming back plants, taking the older growth, leaving the newer growth, and also encouraging new growth. And then also just literally cleaning the tower, any, mineral deposits and things that are there. But mostly, we're getting excited to grow strong with salad because, oh my gosh, we love salads. And then we are excited to have made more light and more room for these little limon trees. And I don't know, I think I might still want to take a bit more of this because I just want a little bit more light than that. Yeah, there we go. That limon tree now looks like it's getting more light. So, I've got to read up on the best process to transplant limon trees, but we're excited. This is our second tower garden in Panama, our first tower garden here in the kitchen of our home. We live in Puerto Bermúdez, Panama, and we have been in this home since June 2023. This has been a dream of ours since, mine since 2013 when I first came to Panama. Paul's since we met in 2015. We agreed that we would retire somewhere in Central America, and then in 2020 is when we identified this particular land, and we came here the second day Panama was opened after COVID. So this has been a long time in coming. This tower garden was actually shipped ahead of time before we got here, and we have a second tower garden up in storage in Colorado that survived the fire of our Colorado home. There was a huge FEMA disaster fire in our town and the next town, and we lost everything but our garage stuff, but we have another tower garden that survived. We did lose two, sadly, that were indoors, but we have another one coming down, and we're going to use that out in our laundry bodega where it is not cool like in here, it's warm. We will also use grow lights because it is indoors, but we will grow warm crops, things like peppers, etc. Lots of other things that we self-pollinate successfully. So that's my task for today. I'm already a lot done. These don't look as pretty anymore, but gosh, they still got beautiful new growth on them. And some people, long before this point, cut the entire head. We simply really enjoy, kind of selective harvesting these. We keep the season going a little bit longer. Another thing you could do is already have new seeds prepared, and by the time they get this big, you have another one ready to go in. We sort of go the opposite direction. We keep it going as long as we can. Now that I'm to this point, it's time for me to germinate some new seeds. because we have other plants in here that will grow for a long time. The parsley will grow for a long time. The cilantro will grow for a long time. The sage, the basil, the lemon trees, those will all grow for a long time. And so we'll start new salad greens, and also these radicchio heads, I would like to let them go in fully. And so we'll start new seedlings for the romaine and the butterhead, probably the arugula, probably another spinach, and we'll fill in these spots that are obviously just about done. So we take really super good care of our tower in terms of nutrients and fresh water, and we are very lucky here that our water is exactly perfect, that with the Jack's A plus B nutrients, we get a perfect balanced pH, so we don't need to adjust our pH on this tower. If we were growing different plants that needed more acidic or more alkaline, we would have to adjust, but we don't have to do anything, so we're thrilled. That's it. I'm happy to share with you our growing of our Crece Fuerte con Bienestar Tower Garden here in Puerto Armuelles, Panama, where we are growing strong with wellness. Take care. Ciao for now.